Hey again, Tonya. I just had a couple of thoughts. This is just in response to your most recent video here, which is a response to the responses that we gave you. In terms of being popular on YouTube, I really appreciate the fact that you're trying to give people guidance on that, because I think there are some people who possibly want that, who will definitely find your experience and insight on that extremely useful. The thing that I've come to realise, though, and this is something that I've sort of come to realise purely about myself over a period of time, is that, and I mean this might be very different for different people, but yeah, I really don't care that much about being popular on YouTube myself. I mean, when I say I don't care about being popular, there are certain people like yourself who I do want to interact with. But the thing that I came to realise is that what I tend to want to do with what I tend to want to do with my own channel, being popular, being large scale popular for me, would actually be contradictory to what I want to do with it. It would actually run counter to what I want to achieve with it. Because the thing that I've noticed is, I've noticed some things about human nature on YouTube, and some of them, to be honest, really aren't all that great. But the single main thing that I've noticed is that people don't really, the vast majority of the viewing audience that I've seen here, they really don't want depth. They really don't want profundity in videos. They want it incredibly superficial, and they basically want to focus on superficial comedy or interpersonal drama. Basically, those two things I've noticed are the two most popular topics among videos on YouTube, and to be honest, I'm really not interested in either of those things. However, I have also noticed that by far the most popular videos are those which do primarily focus on superficial comedy in particular. It's interesting that you mention Lisa Nova and Noltz, because they are probably the two main people on YouTube, or two of the main people on YouTube that I've noticed who do engage in that type of thing. Noltz, the scenario with Noltz in particular is very sad, because he has got to a point where, and this is a point that I think has been reached by a number of people on YouTube, where he has basically, I feel, decided to try and do pretty much whatever it is that he perceives that his audience want, he will try and give it to them. There isn't, and maybe I shouldn't use these terms, but I don't really feel as though there's a lot of genuine creative integrity there whatsoever. It's basically pretty much purely a case of what's going to make me popular, and that's what I'm seeing among a lot of people. Popularity in itself purely is an end goal. And one of the things that I think is very different about you and myself and most of the people that I'm subscribed to is that we're not purely about popularity, right? I really honestly couldn't care if I put a video up and it only gets viewed by 5 to 10 people, because I'm a lot more focused on what it is that I'm actually trying to say. I'm not interested in putting up something that's basically completely vacuous, purely in order to have a couple of million people watch it. For me anyway, that's a fairly pointless type of exercise. I don't really see the point of that, other than ego gratification. And yeah, I guess the fact that you could then possibly generate money from those people. I noticed though with you, and this is something that's quite interesting, you seem to have developed or achieved quite a good balance in the sense that you still very much focus on, good messages and really thought-provoking material at times, and you're still quite popular, or you're fairly popular, yeah. So, and I think that's really good that and hopefully eventually I'll be able to achieve that. The main reason why I honestly went through, I think I'd honestly almost say that I did genuinely actually grieve for Nolts a little bit, because when I first subscribed to him, and this was quite a while ago now, he was putting out some of the most fantastic videos that I've really seen on YouTube. And they were very short, they were very simple, but there was they were really optimistic primarily. They were really, really positive, And I mean, I know he's still upbeat, but it just felt like with the earlier ones, there was also actually a real message there, Now it's basically just fluff. And I felt, because I felt like he went to some of the As One gatherings, which were basically run by the attention-seeking crowd primarily, and he basically got in with them, and I really feel as though he was corrupted by them to a large degree. I mean, I know what I'm saying at the moment, it's very judgmental, and I apologise for that, but yeah, to be honest, I actually try not to focus on Nolts and Lisa Nova in particular, because they are two people who I really don't feel that great about essentially what they do on YouTube. I guess that's really all I wanted to say, that people don't focus, or look, I'm not going to anyway myself, focus on popularity as an end goal. To me, it's a lot more important to put out who you are as a core individual, to some degree actually a distinct individual, than basically just making a generic brand name out of yourself, which, yeah, some of the people here are doing, they really are. And yeah, I think that's important. Stay on message, let people know who you are, as opposed to everyone else in the crowd, because I mean, apart from anything else, that's really the only way that you actually can stand out. If you're just trying to do the same generic canned laugh track sort of humour, I mean, yeah, you might get a lot of hits, but there's not really anything different about you. There's not really anything that sort of sets you apart. And that's sort of really what I'm going for. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon.